Okay, well, a lot of people say to me, how do you paint a winter tree? Well, this is the simple way. You get a brown mix of colour, a fully loaded brush, any brown does it really, burnt umber, touch of blue, just to deepen it a touch, just give it a bit of strength. And what we do, we use a small brush like this, doesn't have to be small, depends on the size of the paper, and you paint the trunk first. And I always like to paint the trunk first, and the trunk actually lays or stands into the ground, and it always sprays out at the root like that. And this is a winter tree, so it's bare, it hasn't got any leafing on as such. And then as it tapers, you just taper up like that, and then you take a branch from there, fairly thick where it leaves the trunk. It tapers very quickly. There's a little area there that probably would take a branch. Oh, and there's another little kink there, so that branch could tend to come forward. Another little kink there. And notice as I'm working up, I taper the branches, and also I produce smaller branches at the top. Some branches actually hang down like that, and you take another branch off of that. So you take a branch from that and you gradually lift off. You then take another branch from that, and the further you get away from the trunk, the more narrow the branches will be, and you end up with little twigs. Sometimes you get a small twig area come from there. Now you don't need to put in too many, so I'm just banging in quickly a few more. Just that needs thickening just a bit there. Just a few more just to show you basic principles. Okay, now that's the basic outline and structure of the tree. Quite often in the summer, in the winter, you tend to have small twig areas, and I tend to put them in with the side of the brush just scratched across. It just gives you an impression of tweaks without actually painting them all in. So I did put a bit of yellow with that, and it's quite open actually. It's not a denser, it may be a more denser area in the centre there where there's twigs that come towards you, and you can pick up the shape of the tree just purely by scratching across the paper like that, and that's the way you produce a winter tree. And to get it to sit onto the ground, just get a damp brush, just soften that and let that bleed in to create the land that it sits on. Put a bit of colour into that while it's wet, and that's the way you paint a winter tree.